Man, good to breathe some air, huh? So, I want to talk a little bit about pain, the pain body, and yeah, just some more on that. So, what is the pain body? Well, the pain body is the part of you that is addicted to pain and suffering, and everyone has one. Um, and if we're already operating from the understanding that everything is you and everything is your own design and your own intention and your own desire from the ultimate perspective, just not in the small human perspective that we currently have, then this pain body concept fits in pretty easily into that. By the way, this is Eckhart Tolle's concept, not my own. Um, so, so, so yes, you, in tandem with the ultimate creator, decided. Now, you experience these decisions unconsciously, and you don't quite agree with them in the conscious mind, but you both decide to create pain as an experience, pain and suffering as an experience for you in this lifetime. And so, how are you addicted to this pain? Well, it's the part of you that wants to continue experiencing the pain very deep in your subconscious. So deep that your conscious mind will never be able to understand it, because it seems like a very inescapable aspect of our conscious mind that we seek to avoid pain and go towards pleasure. That is absolutely an inherent quality of the human experience. So there's no debate about that, of course. But when you expand your viewpoint a little bit greater than the human experience to the ultimate experience, the rational understanding for why we would be programmed to be addicted to pain and suffering actually makes a lot of sense. And we must first incorporate the understanding of the law of contrast, and with that, we must understand what we are not to understand what we are. This is the nature of our experience. Our experience is dualistic inherently, and we cannot have any grounds for experience without contrast. Nothing can exist the way that we perceive it without contrast as a mechanism by which we perceive it. We cannot know matter without having space. We cannot know light without having darkness. And you can go on and on with examples for that. But I say those two make it pretty clear. So, in this way, the law of contrast operates within our psychology as well. We cannot seek to understand our true nature without first seeing what our true nature is not. And so the ego exists to show us what our true nature is not. Of course, the ego is still, an important part of our experience. It's not about, just out with the ego. It's about experiencing the ego, because the ego is the mechanism by which our incredible transformation takes place. It's about appreciating the mechanism of transformation, not trying to skip to the end and degrading it and rejecting it. No, this is all of it is beautiful. All of it is an incredible, intelligent design. So how does this ego and pain body function? Well, simply it creates the contrast through sensations of pain, and then accompanying those sensations of pain, whether it be mental or physical pain, with false beliefs about the nature of your being and the nature of reality. Whenever we experience this pain physically or mentally, there's always going to be a false belief at play. Some sort of mental suffering, perhaps fear of one's death, for example. Of course, that creates a discomfort, and it's manifested as a pain in the mind. Now, the body reacts just the same from mental pain and physical pain. The same sort of brain responses chemically take place. The same sort of stress response takes place whether physical or mental pain. So the body really doesn't know the difference between physical and mental pain, because truly they are the same thing. So anyway, back to the example of fear of death. Well, the fear of death is the uncomfortable sensation, and the false belief associated is that, simply put, you believe that something real, which is you, can be threatened. And of course, as we know, nothing real can be threatened, and anything about you that could be threatened by something like death of the physical body, well, that wasn't what was real anyway. It's the opening lines of the Course in Miracles. What is real cannot be threatened. What is unreal does not exist. So, and then the way physical pain fits into that is, well, we have first a sensation that we deem to be uncomfortable, and then we have an idea about this sensation that it is hurting us, this belief that it is hurting us, or that we are in danger. And again, this at its core is the same belief that what we are is being threatened right now. And of course, that cannot be true. So if you were able to divorce yourself entirely from the belief and then still experience the sensation of the pain, then the pain sensation would be empty on its own. It would not be a negative sensation. And that's why you may have heard stories of yogis who were, mutilated or attacked, but then showed no sign of suffering, because they've achieved high states of consciousness to the point that, at least in that moment, they were able to divorce the pain from the false belief and then transcend the physical pain of the body. And now physical pain is going to be the hardest one to transcend, because it feels extra real. And so don't hold yourself to a standard of, I must transcend this pain absolutely at all times. Don't be harsh on yourself, because that perceived effort is not going to yield any results. But, just to further illustrate the original point, imagine if you had some severe back pain today, or eye pain or something really uncomfortable like that. It was just so painful you couldn't enjoy anything about the day, and it lasted all day. And no matter what position you got in, it would stay. It's a terrible experience. And then, boom, the end of the day comes. It's been a solid 12 hours, and suddenly your pain is gone. You would feel ecstatic. You would feel so happy. You would say, wow, this is a miracle. I feel incredible right now. This feeling is perfect bliss. This is the greatest feeling ever. But what is the actual quality of the feeling that you're experiencing there? It's just the way you were feeling before you had the pain in your back or your eye. That's just the normal feeling of not having pain. Yet it's euphoric to you in that moment because now you've had something to contrast that experience with. And so this example here is an analogy for the soul's evolution and all of reality. This is how the law of contrast functions in all circumstances. Our natural state, the way things currently are, our current experience, our true being, our true nature, true reality, is that blissful. It is just as blissful as, that feeling right as soon as your back pain goes away, or as soon as you've won the lottery. That's the true feeling of reality. And the only thing is not that we need to effortfully increase that feeling within ourselves, but we need to reduce all these other false beliefs that we have about our reality, preventing us from experiencing that level of freedom and bliss in this moment right now. That's the journey. That's what it's all about. And the way we come to know to remove these false beliefs is through the experience of suffering, through experientially knowing pain and seeing it rise to a peak and then fall and then go away. Enough times we will ingrain this appreciation for not having pain so that it becomes our default state without the false beliefs to just fully inherit our kingdom of heaven, fully experience it, rather than the way we do now with all of these shadows, these projections that we put onto our reality based on all of our beliefs. Our beliefs are what hold us back from experiencing ultimate freedom. The freedom is the process simultaneously of the pain becoming love. That is also the freedom. Know the process. Enjoy the process. Don't try to make pain go away. Don't run from pain. Accept it. Don't resist it. Don't try too hard to accept it either, because then you'd be resisting. This is the name of the game. So I invite you to generate a sense of gratitude whenever you experience pain, whether it's mental or physical. Generate a sense of gratitude and try to really appreciate that pain, because its function is ultimately guiding you into your kingdom of heaven, your perfect experience of love and bliss. Hey, just want to make a little addendum to that last one, and a little expansion here on the addiction point of it. How is it an addiction to pain? Because I don't feel like I want it. Well, how I was saying the subconscious mind is what wants the pain. The conscious mind obviously does not want the pain. And so this is pretty easy to understand how the addiction is an accurate word to describe this relationship, because, well, if you accept the truth that nothing real can be threatened, and you accept this easily with your conscious mind, why don't you never experience the fear of death ever again? Well, that's how you're addicted to it. Is that your subconscious mind is addicted to the false belief that something real can be threatened, and that what you are is these other things, these concepts that you can point to, that's what you are, and that since those things can be threatened, you can be threatened. And you're addicted to that belief subconsciously. Not consciously, because if you understand these basic spiritual truths, then you won't want to believe that anymore. But it's not as easy as just realizing it, of course. The first time, at least, you see it and you're like, wow. But then ego is still there. It still comes up. Fear of death still arises, and that's normal, that's okay. But that's how it's an addiction, is that your subconscious mind is addicted to believing things that are false. And this is the journey of integrating what we know to be true in the conscious mind into our subconscious mind so that it becomes our lived experience. All right. Thanks for listening to that. That's the addendum.